Hello, this is Jeremiah with Bull Ridge Plumbing. We're at 305 East 28th doing a sewer inspection from the basement clean out. Approximately 119 feet here. Cannot get the camera through this point. There's something pretty solid right here. Running and testing water here. I didn't have any backups. But we'll go ahead and we'll start pulling back so you can see. I do have the bigger ball here to keep us elevated because there's a lot of water in the line. Not a lot to see here, as I do believe the line is partially blocked for sure. So all you're seeing here is just some debris and water in the line. No real visual of what's going on. Right here we can kind of finally pull out of the water, see a little bit. You can see ahead of us that water is almost all the way to the top of the pipe, even 5 feet away. But here we've traveled, close to 50 feet, completely underwater there. So I do believe that there's a blockage in the line and that this line just hasn't completely filled up yet. This is a clay line. You can see the slight offsets and root intrusions there at that joint. It's very common with a clay line. A little concerned what we got going on the top of the line here. But as always, out here in the field, it's a pretty small screen. So we'll take it back to the office and review this area here. See if there's something that we're not seeing out in the field. Why that's looks different there. So far the rest of this is looking pretty typical. Not seeing a whole lot that's different than ordinary. Not sure what we got at the top of the pipe again there. A little bit of standing water, that started about 43 feet. That's a slight belly there. Was worse going into the line. There was some paper and blockage in there that I was able to push out with the camera, and that has lowered this water level quite a bit. The camera was completely underwater through this whole section here. Right here at 35 feet at one of the joints, one of the rubber seals in that joint is starting to slip out on the bottom side. So it kind of is creating a little bit of a dam there. So you can see that it's causing extra water to hold right there. Most things will flow past that, but there's always the potential for things to get hung up on that and cause a blockage, which would require some maintenance. This section has a little deeper belly in it. So the slope of the pipe's not real great right here, and that's why that water stands. And again, that can cause more frequent maintenance or backups. Here it looks like we got another gasket that's slipping out of the bottom there at about 20 feet on the joint. It's very possible that most of those joints have that, and that's why they're holding water. It could be you know, just where we can't quite see it with the camera. A little bit larger offset there, and this one you can see it's got to come up and over, and that's why that water's standing there. But there's quite a bit of slope up to that point, so it should be pretty self-flushing. This is right near the foundation of the home. Got a few changes in direction coming in here. Right there it transitions to cast iron at 5 feet in. So there's not much cast iron underground here. This is clean out right near the exterior foundation wall. But let me get you cleaned off here. So right here in the basement is the clean out. It's kind of near the laundry, I guess, on this left side, and then over here in this other corner is a water meter, utility room, stairs. Thanks for watching.